Welcome to Ultimate Mega Projects.
This is the Taklamakan Desert in China's Xinjiang region. They call it the Sea of Death. Spanning 330,000 square kilometers, it is a place where summer temperatures soar past 70 degrees Celsius and winter plunges below -20. Sandstorms can erase every trace of human effort within hours. For centuries, this was where things went to disappear. Trapped between the Tian Shan and Kunlun mountain ranges, rain rarely reaches this hyper-arid basin. But beneath this deadly surface lies a secret. Geologists discovered 16 billion tons of oil and condensate, plus 10 trillion cubic meters of natural gas. That is trillions of dollars in energy value, locked inside a vault of shifting sand. China's cities and industries needed this energy, but it was useless without a way to reach it. So in 1993, engineers made an impossible decision. They would build a 522-kilometer highway straight through the heart of the Sea of Death. The first challenge was understanding the enemy. The Taklamakan's dunes are alive. Wind reshapes them constantly. Survey teams spent months in the brutal heat, measuring wind patterns and mapping the desert's breathing. They learned how the sand moved before they could attempt to make it stop. Then came the army. Hundreds of bulldozers carved down towering dunes, redistributing billions of tons of sand to create a flat corridor. But leveling was only the beginning. To stop the sand from swallowing the road, workers deployed an ancient technique, the straw checkerboard. Millions of 1-meter squares made of dry straw were planted diagonally against the prevailing wind. When wind hits this grid, the airflow breaks apart, loses energy, and drops its sand. The grains settle, trapped within each tiny square. The desert didn't stop existing, but stopped moving. Yet stable sand is still not a foundation. To build a road, engineers had to create ground itself. Groundwater was pumped from 300 meters deep and sprayed onto the surface. Heavy rollers compacted the damp sand, squeezing out voids. A layer of natural soil was added, then a geotextile fabric separator, and finally a thick skeleton of gravel and crushed stone. They built a foundation where none had ever existed. Only then could the asphalt be laid. Paving machines spread steaming black mix, and rollers compacted it to perfection. After just over 2 years, a ribbon of highway cut through the desert. The first convoys of oil tankers began to flow. But the desert wants its territory back. Along both sides of the highway, a green wall of drought-resistant trees was planted, creating a living windbreak. And to keep this wall alive in a place with almost no rain, solar-powered pumps extract groundwater for drip irrigation. The same brutal sun that scorches the desert also keeps the green wall alive. From above, the Taklamakan Highway is a thin black line of defiance. The Sea of Death has been... The desert never surrenders. Sandstorms hit the highway with a fury that blots out the sun, reducing visibility to zero within minutes. When the wind finally dies, the road is buried under fresh drifts, and the green wall is coated in dust. This is when the guardians of the highway arrive. Specialized sand-clearing vehicles with rotating brushes and powerful blowers work tirelessly to reclaim the asphalt. It is an eternal cycle, cleared today, buried tomorrow. The workers who maintain this road are a special breed, their faces weathered by years of desert sun and wind. They live in isolated maintenance stations deep in the desert, the only human presence for hundreds of kilometers. At the heart of their operation is water. Over 80 pumping stations extract groundwater and distribute it through hundreds of kilometers of drip irrigation tubing. Every drop sustains the green wall, and the power for these pumps comes from the sun itself. Solar panel arrays are cleaned regularly to maintain efficiency, creating a self-sustaining system. This is China's first carbon-neutral highway, saving 1,000 tons of diesel and over 3,000 tons of CO2 every year. In rare moments of calm, the green wall thrives, an oasis of human making. From the air, you can see the 3 lines of defense: the black asphalt, the straw checkerboard, and the living wall of trees. The highway network has expanded into 3 branches, reaching deeper into the oil fields. and it is no longer alone. A parallel railway line now carries both freight and passengers across the desert. To survive here, the railway needed 180 bridges to float above the most unstable dunes and over 1,000 underpasses to let the sand flow through. 9 control centers monitor conditions around the clock. Yet still, maintenance crews must clear sand from the tracks by hand, a battle they often lose to the wind by the end of the same day. Despite the struggle, the highway and railway have birthed new settlements. Towns with shops, schools, and clinics now exist where there was once only sand. Truck stops offer respite for long-haul drivers. The success here has fueled an even grander vision, a massive green belt encircling the entire Taklamakan Desert. For the first time in recorded history, monitored zones show the desert is actually shrinking. China is now exporting this blueprint to the world, presenting the Taklamakan model at international conferences. Could these techniques help combat desertification in Africa's Sahel region? The potential is immense. Yet there is a paradox. While China fights the desert sand, its megacities consume river sand at an alarming rate. Poyang Lake is being dawn breaks over the Sea of Death, a moment of fragile peace before the furnace ignites. By noon, temperatures have soared past 50 degrees Celsius. Workers preparing for a shift must cover every inch of skin. They're the daily armada, a convoy of specialized vehicles that pushes back the encroaching sand. The asphalt itself is engineered to survive this, with expansion joints that allow the pavement to breathe under thermal stress. But the road still cracks. Repair crews are constantly patching the lifeline, a task that never ends. Beneath the surface lies an invisible foundation of gravel, geotextile, and compacted sand, the unsung hero of this engineering marvel. The green wall also requires constant care. Fallen trees are removed and replaced, and new saplings are planted, destined to become sentinels after a decade of growth. Wildlife has adapted to this new corridor, with desert foxes cautiously exploring the road's edge at dusk. In the distance, camel caravans still traverse the sands, a reminder of the ancient ways that existed long before the asphalt. For long-haul truckers, the highway is a place of solitude, days spent alone with only the hum of the engine. At night, their headlights form a moving river of light in the absolute darkness, a spectacle set against the backdrop of the Milky Way. The economic impact of this road on Xinjiang has been staggering, fueling GDP growth, new businesses, and a population boom. Vibrant market towns have sprung up at junctions, and school buses now carry children to education from communities that were once completely isolated. When medical emergencies occur, the highway becomes a true lifeline, where minutes can mean the difference between life and death. Strategically, the Taklamakan Highway is a key link in China's Belt and Road Initiative, part of a new Silk Road connecting Eurasia. Trucks with Kazakh plates now traverse this once impassable desert. Yet the storm always waits. From a central monitoring hub, operators watch live feeds from hundreds of cameras, maintaining surveillance over all 522 kilometers. Drones provide additional eyes in the sky. The scale of the hidden infrastructure is immense. Over 5,000 kilometers of drip irrigation pipe, the veins that keep the green wall alive. Where the pumps create small reservoirs, life flourishes and birds gather. Each drop of water from an emitter sustains. From orbit, the Taklamakan Highway is a signature on the Earth, a triple line of black, gold, and green visible against the desert. Maintaining this signature requires constant attention.
The data shows
to
shifting
detail.
patterns. We're getting closer to
Workers
understanding this
regularly
atmosphere.
man the
Calibrating
Straw
now.
Checkerboard,
The wind is accelerating.
replacing broken bundles to keep the first line of defense strong. Deep in the desert, research stations study the enemy, analyzing sand movement and climate data to improve techniques. Scientists collect sand samples, knowing that understanding the grain is key to controlling it. Where the sand has been stabilized, nature begins to heal. Native grasses and shrubs slowly recolonize areas protected by the grid. Wildlife adapts, with wild camels grazing near the green wall, seemingly unbothered by the distant traffic. In the Xinjiang Petroleum Museum, the highway is celebrated as the key that unlocked the desert. New pipelines now run parallel to the road, silent arteries carrying oil and gas to feed China's economy. At night, gas flares burn brightly at remote well sites, a visible symbol of the energy vault that has been opened. This raw energy feeds massive petrochemical complexes, completing the value chain from sea to industry. The corridor has become a twin lifeline, with high-speed trains now racing alongside the highway. And the desert is being harnessed for a new kind of
Highway
power.
maintenance, 30
Massive
million
solar
spent,
farms are under
trillions
construction,
earned, a
and
tiny
wind
fraction of the
turbine
wealth
blades
generated.
transported along the
This
very
grid
road
traps
that
sand,
will help
stabilizes
power.
dunes.
The
Brilliant. We
economics
can adapt this for
are
our Sahel projects.
undeniable.
I'm ready to
The
try.
tens of millions spent on annual maintenance unlock trillions in economic value. The world is watching. Delegations of African engineers now visit the Taklamakan to study the straw checkerboard technique
This helped.
firsthand.
We earned
The
it.
blueprint
Yeah.
is being
Feels good.
exported,
One step at a time.
with similar grids
Facsimile.
now appearing in Sahel countries fighting the Sahara's advance. Satellite imagery shows the slow but steady progress of Africa's Great Green Wall, inspired by the Taklamakan model. Back in China, the highway endures the summer heat, where the asphalt shimmers like a mirage. Maintenance crews find moments of rest in the shade, their human spirit undimmed. A memorial plaque stands as a solemn reminder of those who gave their lives for this road, for the next generation growing up in new depth. The Taklamakan Highway stands as a monument to human persistence. 3 decades ago, it was an impossible dream. Today, it is a lifeline. An
I helped
elderly
build
Uyghur
this.
man who helped
Now
build
it
the road
connects my people.
now stands with his grandson. His legacy, a ribbon of asphalt connecting his people. From a single, high-tech control room, operators now manage the entire 522-kilometer corridor. Beneath the sand, sensors monitor the ancient aquifers, ensuring the water that sustains the green wall is managed responsibly. The road has birthed new economies, with desert orchards now producing fruit that travels to distant cities. Inspired by this success, China has expanded its desert highway network, a web of connectivity across the sand. The highway itself is evolving, with electric vehicle charging stations and autonomous sand-clearing robots being tested for the future. When blinding dust storms hit, this road remains the only way through. In autumn, the green wall surprises with bursts of color, a reminder of life's resilience. Every leaf on every tree is sustained by millions of carefully managed drops of water. For families from remote villages, their first journey on the highway is a moment of wonder. Their world suddenly expanded. The road crosses the ancient Silk Road, a powerful symbol of where old and new trade routes meet. The volume of goods that has traveled this asphalt is staggering. Billions of tons, representing trillions of dollars in economic value. At night, the desert offers a different gift: profound silence and a sky full of stars. In a science museum, a young girl looks at a model of the highway, dreaming of her own impossible projects. The original
human
survey
signature,
team, now
into
pioneers
the
in
sea
their
of
old
death.
age, reunite for a
For your
photo.
sustainable model
Their
in the
lives were
Taklamakan,
aligned
this global
across
venture.
the sand.
This inspires
The
global
road has
cooperation.
weathered decades of scorching summers and freezing winters. From space, it is a visible human signature on the planet. The world has recognized this achievement, with the United Nations honoring the Taklamakan model for desertification control. A plaque at the highway's midpoint bears a poem, a cultural landmark in the void. A maintenance worker who has spent a lifetime here finds peace in the daily sunrise. After a rare heavy rain, the desert blooms, a reward for decades of relentless care. As the moon sets, a new day begins on the highway.
In the
In rare moments of
Taklamakan,
perfect
green
calm,
belts
the road
expand,
and the desert
new
exist
towns
in
rise,
absolute
biodiversity
stillness. The
increases,
future promises a
a
shrinking
growing
desert and a
civilization.
growing civilization. As dusk falls, a lone truck heads homeward, the road fulfilling its ultimate purpose: connection. A single grain of sand lands on the asphalt, only to be swept away by a passing vehicle. This is the eternal battle, fought grain by grain, sweep by sweep. They said it was impossible. Now it connects a nation.
Every frame in this video has been crafted through a multi-stage documentary production process from original research and script development to AI cinematic visualization and professional editing. Human creativity guides every step. A digital documentary host and advanced visual tools are used to clearly explain complex mega projects, engineering, and global infrastructure. This channel is dedicated to original documentary storytelling and follows all you to policies regarding AI assisted and synthetic